Hey, hey, hey. I can't believe I actually said that. I wrote this in my notes. I wrote in my notes, say hey, hey. And I came over here and literally said hey, hey. I'm so done. It's been a minute, y'all. It's been a minute since I've done one of these. I'm coming on a little bit earlier than I expected because, one, I'm just hella excited. But also, I just wanted to, be able to get to y'all and talk to y'all, waking up this morning and seeing all the comments and the responses to the tour announcement and y'all's response to the performance announcement the other day really blessed me. Like, I cannot tell y'all enough. If there's one thing as an artist, as a creator, as a teacher, that just means the world, it's seeing the people that really mess with you, actually engage and share and comment and talk about their excitement. And wow, that just feels so amazing. I mean, some of y'all that are commenting, I have pictures of you in class, like from our group pictures and stuff. And so I was looking at those the other day, and it's just so crazy. I think Flawless Pearl was like, "Oh yeah, I've been waiting since 2018," which just that level of engagement, that consistency, that is just so incredible. You know what I mean? I feel like people can only hope for that type of loyalty and commitment to a practice when you create something. And so, and she was one of the people that I was like, oh my God, literally, I was just looking at some of the old pictures of you, of her in our last series. And so I'm just, man, y'all know, if you've been following my journey over the last year, you know that I have been through a really transformative time period. Listen, honey, things have been very interesting. For those of you all who don't know, I lost my mom last year after being a caregiver to her. My husband and I both being primary caregivers to her since she had a stroke and heart attack at the top of the pandemic. And it's so funny to think about it because how has 5 years gone past? Like, it just doesn't even make sense. Like, 5 years since one of the last tours, 4 years now since the top of the pandemic. Like, when I say that there is truly like a gap in my memory, it feels like, because I'm always like, well, what's been going on? I'm like, oh, the pandemic, and we really kind of quarantined in as a family, one, to keep mama safe, and then also because we are immunocompromised, and did everything that we possibly could to shield her from contracting the virus or having any type of complications that would make everything that she was already going through worse. And it was a big commitment for both of us, and as a family collectively. I mean, it meant having to bring her away from her hometown of Chicago and live with us on the West Coast for a time period. And that was a huge change, and lots of things have changed. And so it's just interesting just to really think about all that we've endured over the last few years. And my book also came out in 2022, A Return to Pleasure. That was definitely one of my greatest achievements during this time period of reflection and kind of just being really close to the home base and the home team. And I'm really grateful for the ways in which we were able to navigate through that time and navigate through some of the pressures that, we all were facing and trying to figure that out. So I figured I'd start off before I get into talking about all the things and all the things and all the things. I figured I'd start off by reading a little bit from A Return to Pleasure. And if you haven't gotten the book, I would love for you to grab it. On Amazon, you can buy it on Kindle. If you want the physical paperback book copy, you have to buy it from the Messy Movement Lab. And right now, it's on sale, I think for like $20 or something like that. So go ahead and grab that. I think you'll really enjoy it. It also gives you a really great introduction to the messy movement practice as a healing practice and how you can incorporate that into your life. So I want to just share a small passage with you, and then we'll get into all the other good stuff. So this is from chapter 8, and it says, the practice of moving energy and reclaiming the birthright of pleasure. As we come into this phase of the messy movement practice, we understand that in order for us to experience goodness or ecstasy, we unravel all the lies and unlock all the hidden doors that prevent us from having it. If we pour seeds onto hard soil, one or two might catch, and we might see some growth or change in our lives. However, it's when we are conscious about the removal of unwanted energy, toxic beliefs, shame, and fear that are lodged in the muscle memory of the body that we actually begin to see a full bloom happening in our gardens. Think of your reconnection practice, breaking up the hardened soil, pulling up the weeds, and organizing your forthcoming harvest by sections. As we continue to do the work of releasing the energy that does not serve us, we make the soil soft, tender, pliable to the rain. This is the soil that can truly bear the harvest that we want to see in our lives. So if you have a notebook, or if you want to write one of these questions down, I'll give you 3 of the prompts that there's a list of them. So I'll give you 3 of the prompts that are shared here. So the first one is, where do you hold limiting beliefs about the erotic? Let me pick another one. Where are you acting out the sexual shame projected onto you? Ooh, shots fired. That's wow. Where do you not allow yourself to really feel good in your life? So, where do you hold limiting beliefs about the erotic? Where are you acting out the sexual shame that was projected onto you? And where do you not allow yourself to really feel good in your life? We're going to have to sit with those questions this week. I love this because it talks about this idea of like, what's the vision, right? Like, what's the vision that we have for ourselves? What's the vision that we have for the ways in which we want to show up in our body, in our relationship to our own self-intimacy, in relationship to the intimacy that we share with others? And how does that influence, the ways in which we are embodying our sexuality? And a lot of times people come to class and, I know y'all be watching the YouTube videos of all the girls, and they're giving you heels, they're giving you body, they're giving you face, they're giving you choreography, and it's beautiful, right? And I think that there's a lot of space for us to get there. But a lot of times people can't get there because of the beliefs that they're holding around their body, the beliefs that they're holding about what it means to be fully sexually expressed or to fully have a relationship with the erotic that is not inhibited or attached to anyone else, but really based on you. And I would go even a step further to say based on you and the level of intimacy that you desire to have with spirit, with God, with the universe, with the cosmos, with, whatever your deity or entity or spiritual beliefs are or not, but what's that relationship like, and how does that relationship how do you pour into that space to actually have consistent time for yourself, consistent time to unearth some of the things that you've carried with you in relationship to your sexuality over the years and in relationship to your body. And this practice has always been centered less in choreography and more in how can we really evoke the healing energy of erotic movement in these particular, gathering spaces, right? Like, how can we set up a space for ourselves in our lives to not just focus on getting to the erotic when it's of benefit for someone else or when it's of benefit to have like a connection with another person, but how can we get to that energy when it's just us, right? How can we make ourselves feel sexy? How can we make ourselves feel valued and adored and worshipped and desired and loved on and protected and, full of ease and full of joy? Like, how can we really make intentional space and time to get into that space? So like I said, a lot of people come to class and they're kind of like, ready for the choreography, but not so much really, right? Like, there's like some hindrance there. There might be a little bit of anxiety, not really sure what to expect when you walk in the room. So it's just like, let's see. And then they get in there and they have this experience of a reconnection with their bodies in ways that they really haven't had or thought that they had the permission to actually experience. And that is one of the most profound gifts that I feel I get after classes are over, when I hear you all say things like, you feel desired, you feel at home, you feel safe, you feel a new level of permission for yourself to be able to not just have this sexy moment in history, right? But to actually have the practice or the tools to do this thing on a regular basis, right? So as I shared with you all, my mom passed, and that's been a crazy journey. I've been up, I've been down, I've been up, I've been down, I've been left and right. I done fell out on the floor, then been on the floor, couldn't get up off the floor, then got up off the floor, then went back down to the floor. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I am still healing. I'm healing twofold. You know what I mean? I'm healing from this new life that has come after not being a caregiver, for someone. That's a huge shift after someone passes away. And also healing in the sense of trying to learn how to live without my mother. And, those are not really sexy emotions. That's not really a sexy place to be per se. And it doesn't necessarily evoke a sexy energy. It evokes a lot of sadness. It evokes a lot of grief. It does bring up a lot about my own sexuality and the points or moments in my history of development with my mom and how she influenced that journey. And, some of those moments are great moments and some of those moments are not so great. And so there's a lot that can come with that. And so even for myself, I was just thinking the other day, like, sometimes it's really hard, to just try to go for the practice and immediately go for lingerie, heels, lights, camera, let me get in the camera and give you all of this, energy. It's hard sometimes to jump right there, especially when the heart and the body and the nervous system and the mind and the spirit are holding on to other things. And it's not to say that you have to not ever have those things in order to get into this energy of feeling, sensually alive or awakened in that way, but it can hinder you if you don't know how to actually work through it. And that's why I really love to emphasize to you all that the erotic is a spectrum, right? When we're thinking about using and cultivating the erotic as a healing practice, as a tool, we have to understand that it doesn't just exist in these moments of shared intimacy. It doesn't just exist in the performance. It doesn't just exist in this space of like what you can externally communicate to other people. There's so much, 95% of the practice is so much just about how you are allowing yourself to navigate the way you feel. And this practice allows for you the space to move through wherever you're at on the spectrum and actually be able to get to that raw energy of release, of reconnection, of reveling and rebirth that comes with a consistent movement practice. And so I love to take you all on a journey of, getting out of your head and, kind of doing some upbeat movement that, kind of takes some of that stress and anxiety away just off the bat. And then we sink into a slower, more methodical, more reflective movement and meditation journey that allows for you some time to think, a little time to process, and also time to be with your body. And I am a firm believer that you are your best guru. You are your best spiritual teacher. So you know what you need. You know what your body needs. You know what you can and cannot have the capacity for. Like, these things. And so this isn't to necessarily like push you so far outside of your comfort zone or anything like that, but it really is to give you an opportunity to to reflect on maybe where there's some points of resistance or obstacles. And I love to say, if you get to that point in the class and you're like, I can't do this no more, then you stop. And to me, that's a win, because you're listening to yourself. You're listening to what your body is saying, and you're listening to what your body needs, as opposed to being like, oh, the teacher is telling me that I need to do X, Y, and Z. And this is just not that space, right? And so I love to go into the space of having, giving you some light choreography to be able to focus your movement, so you're not kind of like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? But I also love giving you a lot of space to explore and to figure out what the movement is supposed to mean for you in this moment. And so, or like I was saying earlier, this week, I was like, oh, okay, I'm just, wanting to get into my practice, but I don't know. I can't seem to get there. And then finally I just put some music on and turn my camera on, just because I'm in a process of documenting right now. And I, hair was all over the place. My clothes was baggy because we in some hot weather. We've been out all day walking the dogs, all this type of stuff. And I just turned the music on and I just started dancing, you know what I mean? No agenda, my only intention being to just feel whatever is, supposed to be coming up in that moment. And the minute that I let go of having to have my notebook and my yoga mat and the headphones and the heels and the this and the that and making it beautiful and aesthetically pleasing and all of this stuff, I found that point of entry. And finding that point of entry, I probably danced for 15, 20 minutes and my body was pumping. I could just feel that sensation of aliveness, And I value that, because especially in this process of healing and moving through a lot of grief and moving through a lot of sadness and transition and, unearthing all of the things that happen when you're, dealing with the death of not one, but both parents at this point. There's just stuff. It's just stuff that just can, prevent that you from accessing that really raw energy if you don't know how to move through, if you don't know how to move through the obstacles. And I think that's really the thing that sets the Messy Movement Lab as an institute and as an institution and the practice of messy movement aside, apart from other practices. I think that the Messy Movement Lab is a parallel and how do you say it? You should pair it, right? Doing your messy movement practice and then doing whatever, your pole dance practice, or doing your messy movement practice and then going to the gym, or reverse, whatever the case may be. It's not an either or, it's a supplement. It's something that helps you to really get to the most raw, the most authentic, the most meaningful parts of your movement practice and amplifies everything else that you do, right? And so I think that in this upcoming tour experience, Embodied, that's really what I want to offer you all. You know, I know that you're in different cities and we're all over the place. And some of you all are members to the online community. Some of you have taken online classes with me, and I encourage you to continue to do so, because having that practice again and having guidance with that will always be helpful. But I also want you to think about, what is this movement setting me up for? Like, how is it allowing me to do more of what I'm craving to do? Or how is it allowing me to access more of the energy that I want to have in my life? So y'all know, if you haven't seen the tour announcement, you can go to the website, themessymovementlab.com, and the information is also on my page. You can see all the details, you see all the comments. Like, oh, y'all have no idea. Like, I was genuinely, I had to put the phone down last night. I was like, okay, I can't even do this anymore, because if I sit here, I'm gonna just keep refreshing the screen to see everybody that's excited. Like, that just, I can't even explain. Like, you really made my day, and it's just so good to be loved by y'all. So good to, see how y'all have grown with me and with this practice, and believed in me and believed in this work, even when it was before it had all this language and format and all the things. Like, y'all was really fucking with me, and I cannot say thank you enough. So the Embodied tour is coming to Columbus, Ohio, Chicago, Baltimore, Maryland, Oakland, Los Angeles, Atlanta, Durham, North Carolina, and I feel like I'm forgetting someplace. I don't know. The details are all there. The tickets are ranging from $65 to $75. So if you get those early bird tickets, you can grab them at $65. If not, you'll grab the $75 price. I want you to sign up for our newsletter, and I'm going to put a link to that in my stories, because you'll get a chance to get like notifications about the deals and stuff for different classes. Because I want to make sure that no matter what, y'all can get in and get into the practice wherever you fit. I'm going to have a really crazy deal this weekend for those of you all who are in the US and abroad. So like, make sure that you're in there and get yourself on that newsletter, or send me your email, or whatever you got to do. Make sure you get there so that we can get you in, get you signed up. So tickets are on sale now. So I want you all to go ahead and check out that information. If you have questions, you can email us at themessymovementlab@gmail.com, and we'll answer whatever questions you have. Let me see. There was something else I wanted to tell you all. Tickets are on sale. Ticket ranges. Okay, I said that already. The other thing is, you all may have seen the other announcement that I made this week, was that I'll be doing my first live performance in quite a while in September in Chicago, and it'll also be live streamed online. So I would love for you all to join me no matter where you are. This performance is dedicated to my mom and to her life, her ministry, and the way in which she showed up in the world. My mom was the first Black woman owner of a dancewear store in the Midwest, and specifically in Chicago, Illinois, for 15 years. And she was carrying up to a 5X in traditional dancewear and praise dancewear in the early 90s. And I just think that that's something that deserves to be celebrated and acknowledged. She has clothed many of your favorite dancers and has, including myself, but she has really shown up and shown out for her community in ways that are unforgettable. And many people celebrated with us last year at her home going service. And so I'm just in a space where I want to be able to lift her name up and share some beautiful memories. I'm coming together with some other guest artists to be able to do this show. And like I said, it's going to be in Chicago in September 21st and 22nd, I believe. If that date is wrong, don't be mad. But look at the pages. The details are there. Tickets for the show will be going on sale in June. And that's not it, y'all. So the last thing is that this is also a really, really special year Because this is the 10-year anniversary of my film, Sex is a God Thing. And this film has literally like changed my life in ways that I hope to one day be able to articulate. Sex is a God Thing has moved mountains for me in ways that like I just could only dream of, from booking TV appearances to working with companies that I've always wanted to work with, to being able to do 16 city tours and having sold out classes and reaching so many amazing women and feminine spectrum folks that are craving to be in their bodies in this way. And it also has really been profound in the sense of understanding like that plus size Black women deserve a space in media. We deserve a space in the love stories. We deserve to be the lead. We deserve to have these opportunities to see ourselves as something other than like the secondary character. And that was really the thing that we centered with the making of this film. And so the original film, the first version, the part 1 from 2014, July 30th, it will be 10 years old this year, this summer. And so I'm incredibly excited to celebrate this. So we have some beautiful things coming up this summer and this fall. And I also have another announcement with a partner collaboration that I'm doing, and I want y'all to get in on it. So as soon as we're able to share all of the juicy details, I'll definitely be letting y'all know. But it's just gonna flow right one into the other, because y'all know me. Like, you come to class, I'm gonna be like, all right, when gotta get yourself into a consistent practice. So that consistent practice, that's gonna be the next announcement. Okay. So I'm just super excited. Again, the tour starts in June. The 10-year anniversary is in July. And my first performance is gonna be in September in Chicago. So y'all, I'm just incredibly excited. I can't wait to dance with you all in person. I can't wait to just have this opportunity to just be in the spirit and the energy of all the messy movers. Once again, it's been so long. And obviously it's beyond time to be able to get into space together. So we've got a lot of things that, want to make sure that you all know about the class space, how we're going to protect folks from, with our COVID precautions, and making sure that we have enough space for the people that will be attending. So, be patient with us. I know that as the world is turning, everybody has, different experiences, understandings, and levels of risk that they're willing to take, and some people not so much. And so we really want to make a space where everyone can be respected and everyone can be valued, especially in regards to our health and our well-being. And we want to make sure that even as we're trying to move forward in building these in-person spaces, that we don't negate the very real challenges that certain populations within the messy movement community are still facing right now. And I'm one of those people. And as an immunocompromised person, living a life away from people in order to maintain my health is challenging, to say the least. And while I enjoy having the space and the solitude and, to be able to move and create and do all these things digitally, I also love being able to fellowship with you all in person. There's nothing like moving with you all in person. And so we're going to make sure that we go about this the right way. And so I'm asking for y'all, if you fucking with me in person, that you're going to come about it the right way, and that we're going to do this the right way and make sure that we all walking out of here whole. We're all walking out of here fed and connected and, not second guessing whether or not, spaces are conducive to our well-being. Again, y'all, I cannot stop smiling. As you can see, I am incredibly excited. And very much so looking forward to being able to dance with y'all. So hit up the website, themessymovementlab.com, so that you can learn all the details about the forthcoming classes, and make sure you get on that newsletter because the deals will be starting this weekend, and I cannot wait to see y'all on the dance floor. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.